Hello and welcome back to this video. This is we are getting to the end of the video, and I am going to show you some of the best practices. Okay, so let's create a new file and call it, let's call it structure.html, and the normal things: doc type HTML, follow with head, and then the title, call it title, and then the body, so the body will come here. Okay, let me talk more about the head aspect. Okay, the heading is where most of our information will go to. Okay, most of our information will go to, and there was one thing we call metadata. This is where SEO friendly comes into the into play with the site. So the metadata kindly generally gives information about the website. For instance, you can come here and say meta, okay, and then the name of the meta is author. Know if that's correct, and then the content is equal to Code with Ibra is the owner of the site. Okay, what this thing does is search engines will go through the site and they will read the author, and they will also get the content. Okay, when they see the name, the author, and then the content, each time someone goes to Google or any site to search for Code with Ibra, Google search engine will try as much as possible to bring this website up, because there is an information in the site showing that I am the author, my name is the author, Code with Ibra is the author. Okay, Code with Ibra is the author, so meaning this site should be included as part of pages that should show up. Aside that, we also need to provide a short description about our site, so that search engine will get to know what our site is all about. Okay, so meter, and then the name is the description, and then the content. What is the site about? Description of the site. Okay, so what your site is about will come here, and aside that, you get to include anything that you want to include. Okay, whatever thing you want to include will come here. And then we also have one other very important attribute that makes the HTML, our document, to be responsive on all devices. Okay, so if we want that, we have to say meta, and then view. Well, let's make things very simple for you here. Okay, each time that you are about to code, writing all these things seems long, so on your keyboard you hold shift and then 1. Okay, when you hold shift and then 1, then you press enter. When you press enter, automatically everything will be generated for you. Okay, these two attributes, they make sure that your website will be responsive everywhere on all devices. Okay, and then we have meta charset. This is just describing the kind of character set that the language should support. We have so many, like the ASCII, but the latest one is UTF-8 because it supports most encodings. So this is what I will tell you each time that you are about to code. You just press the exclamation you type the exclamation and then you press enter, and this thing will be generated. Okay, there are a whole lot of things to write in code. You cannot memorize code, so you have to learn a way of making things faster. You type faster, you code smartly. Okay, you don't need to be repeating few things. But as for beginners, it's very good for you to start typing everything all over again. So each time you are coming to start your website, you just press shift +1 and then the exclamation mark shows up. When it comes around like this, then you hit enter, then you have everything. You change the title of the document, and then you go on with the body. Okay, so this is something small that I want to show to you, but don't forget your descriptions. Okay, don't forget your descriptions. This metadata, the name of the author, the description of your site. This is very important, and any other information that you want to include, you just say meta and then the name. When you bring the name, whatever key you want to introduce is here, and then the content or the value of it will also come into the content attribute. Okay, the content attribute. So that's it for let me say that's it for here, and in the next lecture we are going to look at what most people do not cover. We are going to take a look at HTML validations. There are some times that you have so many things to fix, you don't know where the error is coming from, you don't know what you should change. Okay, so it's very important to know about HTML validations. So we are going to look at HTML validation. That's what we are going to do next. All right, thank you for your time, and see you in the next lecture. Hello and welcome to this section of the video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you and demonstrating as well the validations we have in HTML. You see, validations is very crucial. It's very important. Okay, validations are very important. So I've created a new file name. The name is validation.html, and I am coming to do the basic that we've been doing. This is the head, and then this is the title. So website. Okay, then we go to the body, and then let's say h1 of my website. Okay, under normal circumstance, there's no error with this our site, and if we open it in the browser too, we see that everything is working expectedly. But this is not the correct structure for HTML CSS. This is not the correct structure for HTML. You do this is very wrong. Okay, let us look at why it is very wrong. So there's a website named HTML. Just go and search HTML validation. Search HTML validation, and if you search, you will see the first one that comes up, the W3C. Click on that one. When you click on that one, you can check for your HTML by URL. So maybe the page address, you input it here and then you can check. But as you can see, our page is offline, it's not online, so we cannot use this particular section or the particular part. We have validate by file upload, and we also have validate by direct input. Okay, we don't have many, our code is not that many, so let me come and let me actually navigate to this section, validation by input. So let's copy our code and then paste it here, and then go to check. So it will, after some time, it will check. Very good. It says that our everything is correct, but there's warning. What is the warning? Consider adding a lang attribute to the HTML start tag to declare that the language of this document. So it's basically telling us that our site is very good, everything is working, but it lacks the language attribute. Okay, so this one will let the site know that okay, the default language of the site is English. So that's very, very important. And if, for instance, let's trigger an error and look at what will happen. For now, let's update it. So we've added the language. Let's update it to see what will happen. Very good. Now there's no error to show. Okay, so let's take it as maybe I had an error somewhere that I don't know. Okay, there was this error that I don't know. Let me copy the code once again, and I want this site to debug for me. Come to check, and yes, you see a whole lot of errors. This is telling us that okay, from line 9 of column 5, okay, so it will keep us prompting, telling us that the website is lacking something. It's like the closing is not coming. Okay, so that's what the validations are all about. It's a very good tool, a very powerful tool for debugging your code, and especially this is for beginners, because see, when you are starting to code HTML initially, you may encounter so many errors, and there are some errors you hardly find your way out. So with this website, you can simply come here and then you input your code here. It will check and tell you where the particular error is coming from. Okay, we've looked at one side. Let us look at validate by file upload. So we go to file, validate by file upload. We choose the file we want to, in this case validation. We go to check, and after some time it will populate it. Okay, this one to us and say the character encoding was not declared preceding Windows 1252. This is talking about character encoding. So let us add character encoding to our site so that search engines or maybe just anything will know that just in case of any text formatting happening, our site will be able to proceed. The character encoding helps the character format of the site. So let's put that one, and you should not even worry yourself much to know those things. You just have to do it, because yeah, that is a way of doing. That is what makes the site. So to do that, we just come to the head and say that meter and char set is equals to UTF-8. Okay, UTF-8. all right, so UTF-8. we save it, we come back, we choose the file again, validation, check. All right, there's no error. Okay, there's no error. So that's how you validate your file. And let me bring this one on board. It's very, very important to always go by the validate by file upload in option. These ones are correct, these ones are good as well, but I find this one to be more effective. Okay, so try to always, if possible, use the middle option, that is validate by file upload. Okay, so this is all about HTML validation. And talking of HTML, there are so many things in HTML. What we've done here is a bit of it. Okay, but one thing I want you to know is we can't learn everything. We just need to learn what we know. Okay, so this is where the lectures will end. And in the part 2 of this lecture, we are actually going to look at CSS, and then from CSS we will build a project. We are going to build a project. Okay, so for now we will end the HTML lectures here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next videos. Thank you.